Startups and innovators need legal protection but face high legal costs in the United States. MGSN has sought a solution to reduce those legal costs without compromising quality. We have examined the feasibility of building a legal process outsourcing platform, LPO. Let's dive into it. Welcome to MGSN. I'm your host, Matt Hutchinson, and today we are with SK Juris, represented by Sabi Ghosh and Anulka Tapadia, and I'm also with MGSN legal expert, Jerry Keogh.
Very well, thank you, Matt.
We're doing fine. Yeah, thank you.
Let's start with you, Jerry. Can you give us a brief outline of what an LPO is?
Yeah, that stands for legal process outsourcing. So what lawyers operate under are extreme deadlines with significant consequences if those deadlines aren't met. Mm-hmm. The idea is most lawyers are putting in 60 to 80 hours a week and still are not able to meet those deadlines. So what lawyers do is they utilize what's called legal process outsourcing services, and they try to leverage as much of the workday as possible. So in our case, we went with SKJ about 12 years ago. Very happy with them. They give us 10 and a half hours of billable times and working times in the winter time, and in the summertime it's 9.5 hours.
This relationship, can you guys dive into it on how much value your guys' relationship has been from overseas?
In 2008, when we really started facing serious issues for our clients whose revenues were contracting, they wanted us to come up with some innovative solutions that would reduce the legal cost. Mm-hmm. I then met Sabi and Ghosh and Pankaj Jain, his partner, in London, and we started working on some concept generation plans for our client base in the States. We then started working on small projects back in India. Then I traveled to India with my partners. We started working with Sabi, Pankaj, and Anulka. We started doing the training process over there so that we could be on a really seamless platform. We developed a very strong, seamless platform, and our clients were ecstatic because they were seeing that we were matching large law firms foot by foot, punch by punch. We were turning around our transaction works in a very crisp and clear manner. And we were leveraging that. First, we were leveraging two assets. Mm-hmm. We were one asset, the 10.5 hour clock. So we extended the workday by 10.5 hours. And that's an important concept. And also, frankly, when you leverage the rupee with the US dollar, the clients were able to get a cost-effective but highly skilled product.
Absolutely. You make great points about service. I mean, patent drafting, trademark filing, content, all very important things for startups and young entrepreneurs. Sabi, could you go in a little bit about SKJ Juris's services and those things that Jerry was just kind of going through and how important that is to a new startup?
Thanks, Mac. SK Juris has predominantly 4 services until 2022. Those are litigation support, immigration support, lease abstraction, and contract abstraction. And SKJ Juris has been excelling in all these services across the USA. But going 2023, SKJ has found that there is a huge demand for other services in the litigation support space. That's like legal transcription, medical records, review and summary, legal writing, legal typing, and legal editing. These are the few services which we call as low-hanging fruits, but these are immensely important and immensely popular among the legal outsourcing vendors and law firms. More often than not, they need these services sometimes in bulk. apart from the document review, litigation support, immigration support, lease abstraction, and contract abstraction. So going 2023, we have got a new website where we are going to focus on these other services as well. We are hiring more people for these additional ancillary services, or we are tying up with other firms who are otherwise capable but don't have the ability to scale up, and we are trying to offer these services from 2023 so that we can attract a larger audience of law firms, as well as we can increase our bandwidth so far as the litigation and legal support space is concerned.
Oh, thank you for the service review, Sabi. That's really wonderful. And I know another aspect of the LPO that our audience is very interested in is the cost savings through the use of different technologies. Now, Anuka, I hope you can speak to the different technology tools that SKJ Juris uses, such as document management systems or project management tools. Could you explain those different tools and technologies that you use to really save people money?
Yes. So basically, we have two ways of working upon a get. That is, we can work on a we can work manually also, and then we can work on the software-based technologies also. So what we basically do is we have a project management solution with us, and we have different softwares to execute the projects. So for example, if we get an abstraction project, then we have certain tools, and based upon the requirement of the client, we can work manually also, like in a worksheet or a Word document. But if the requirement is of working on a software-based solution, then we have that too, or the solution can be suggested by the client also. So based upon that and the requirements, which is very important for us, the main criteria for us is the basic requirement that the client is having for us. So according to that, we mold ourselves, we customize the product, and then we deliver it.
That's wonderful. And I have another question for you, Anulka.
Yes.
President Biden and Entrepreneurs Magazine have identified a lack of access to lawyers as an impediment of job creation for young entrepreneurs of color. SK Juris, I think, is known for its diversity. You have many women employed at your law firm. Could you just tell me about how important that is of your law firm, particularly as far as diversity?
Yes. So just firstly, I just need to tell you that I'm very proud of my team, because 99 is all young women lawyers that I have.
That's
So
wonderful.
yes. And talking about the diversity and the color that you're seeing, I totally believe in the capacity of the person or the skill set that we possess. So we do not second to anyone who is having a very high skill set. So I do believe in ourselves, because we really strive ourselves to excel in what we are doing.
Absolutely. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Can I just add to that point, Mac?
Absolutely. Yeah. Jerry.
One of the things that law firms in the United States are struggling with is that they do not have, if you go onto any web page, you're going to of big law firms, medium-sized law firms, you're going to see diversity is a significant issue, and the glass ceiling for women lawyers is intensely high. Now, there is bona fide attempts, I believe, by the organized bar to change that, but it changes slow. So one of the aspects that large law firms can do by utilizing a law firm that's as progressive as SKJ to support their legal work is to diversify their supply chain. So if you're having a hard time finding, and I find it difficult why it's a hard time, but let's just say you're having a hard time finding qualified women lawyers and qualified women lawyers of color and qualified lawyers of color, well, then you most certainly could be able to diversify your supply chain and start the process rolling in the right direction. We have had nothing but high quality, high turnaround projects. And I'm going to give you one example, if I may. We had a case that involved Los Angeles and New York litigation, but it was a bi-coastal litigation. It was involving a high-profile case that was in the media, and the judge was admonishing all of the parties that were involved in this case that they were violating the order that the judge had put in place to not speak to the media about this high-profile case, because the judge, rightfully so, was concerned about the jury pool being poisoned. We ran into a significant problem that was challenging our prosecution theory that how we were the plaintiffs in this case. And it was something that we were smack in the middle of taking testimony. And it's a devastating feeling a lawyer gets when their prosecution theory gets a serious blow in court. We needed to brief a couple of concepts, legal concepts that we had that would rectify this matter. But I could not get lawyers out in Los Angeles or Chicago or New York to turn around the brief that I needed on briefing these issues. I called my good friend Sabi up on the courthouse steps in Los Angeles, and I said, I'm in trouble, Sabi. I had a very bad day in court. The theory that we worked on is really being challenged, and I need to find a solution. And we briefed, I gave them 3 issues to brief and to turn the briefs around to me by 9 a.m. Los Angeles time. I found it very difficult to sleep that night, but I did actually fall asleep for a couple of hours. When I woke up, there was a magnificent brief that put us in a position of power where we reconstructed our cross-examination of one party that was on there and delivered a significant damage to the defense on that. And we were able then to move after discovery with summary judgment, which our friends in Pune did in an excellent brief that we got. We worked it, maybe 3 or 4 drafts in addition to the magnificent brief that we got from them. We saved our client a bundle of money, and we turned around a devastating day in court into a day of victory. So I think that's an important aspect of having that 10.5 hours of qualified young lawyers who are working strong and hard under Anilka's tutelage and delivering a high quality product.
That's amazing to hear from a young entrepreneur's perspective. I mean, young entrepreneurs are, in need of legal support, particularly those of color, in those early stages of starting a business. And all these advantages, whether it's the time difference, the cost-effective practices, the tools, and the technology that SKJ Juris is using are fantastic. I just want to say thank you very much, all 3 of you guys, for talking with me today. Again, SK Juris, represented by Sabi Ghosh and Anuka Tapadia, and we have MGSN legal expert Jerry Keogh here on with us. Thank you all again. This was a great show, and we'll see you all another time.